Residency can play an important role in Oklahoma child custody cases. When parents separate, divorce, or live in different places, the court may need to determine where the child legally resides, whether Oklahoma has authority to hear the custody case, and how the child's living arrangement affects the child's best interests. Although residency alone does not decide custody, it can strongly influence the court's decision. Oklahoma courts focus on the child's best interests. In most custody cases, Oklahoma courts focus on the best interests of the child. This means the judge considers the child's safety, stability, emotional needs, school life, medical care, relationship with each parent, and overall well-being. A parent's residence may affect several of these factors. A stable home, a consistent school schedule, a safe environment, and a reliable daily routine can support a parent's custody position. On the other hand, frequent moves, unsafe housing, unstable living arrangements, or uncertainty about where the child will live may create concerns for the court. Residency can affect which court has jurisdiction. Before an Oklahoma court decides custody, it must have authority to hear the case. This issue becomes especially important when one parent recently moved to Oklahoma, moved away from Oklahoma, or lives in another state. Courts generally try to prevent parents from moving children from one state to another, simply to gain an advantage in custody litigation. For that reason, the court may look closely at where the child has lived, how long the child has lived there, and whether another state has already entered custody orders. The child's home state matters. The child's home state is often one of the most important residency issues in a custody case. In many situations, the home state is where the child has lived with a parent or person acting as a parent for at least 6 consecutive months before the custody case begins. If the child is younger than 6 months old, the home state is usually where the child has lived since birth. If Oklahoma is the child's home state, an Oklahoma court may have authority to make custody decisions. However, if another state is the child's home state, that state may have priority unless a legal exception applies. Recent moves can create custody problems. A recent move can complicate a custody case. If a child recently moved to Oklahoma, the court may need to decide whether Oklahoma has become the child's home state, or whether another state still has authority. Likewise, if a child recently moved away from Oklahoma, an Oklahoma court may still retain jurisdiction in some situations, especially if one parent remains in Oklahoma and the child has not established a new home state. Parents should be careful before moving a child across state lines. A move made without agreement, notice, or court approval may create legal problems and may affect how the judge views the moving parent's conduct. Emergency custody situations. Emergency situations can lead to different results. If a child is physically present in Oklahoma and faces immediate danger, abandonment, abuse, mistreatment, or threats of harm, an Oklahoma court may enter temporary emergency custody orders. However, emergency jurisdiction does not always mean Oklahoma will decide permanent custody. If another state has proper jurisdiction, the Oklahoma court may issue temporary protection, while the long-term custody issues proceed in the correct court. Residency affects parenting time. Residency also affects visitation and parenting schedules. When parents live close to each other, weekday visitation, frequent exchanges, shared school activities, and flexible parenting time may be easier. When parents live far apart, the court may need a more detailed parenting plan. Long-distance parenting plans often address transportation, exchange locations, travel costs, holidays, school breaks, summer visitation, phone calls, video calls, and communication between the child and the non-custodial parent. The goal is to create a schedule that protects the child's stability while preserving a meaningful relationship with both parents when appropriate. Evidence used in residency disputes. Evidence matters when residency becomes disputed. Helpful records may include school enrollment records, daycare records, medical records, leases, utility bills, mail, travel records, prior court orders, employment records, and written communications between the parents. These documents can help show where the child has lived, how long the child has lived there, who has provided daily care, and which arrangement offers the greatest stability. Residency issues can quickly complicate an Oklahoma child custody case. especially when parents live in different counties or different states. The court may need to decide both jurisdiction and the child's best interests before entering custody orders.